gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face.
What the hell is going on down there?
Bass in your face. Ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the platform or watching this for the very first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. And tonight, I will not enable the subscriber mode, meaning anyone, whether you be a subscriber or not, is free to enter your comments in the chat. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. Whether you've been supporters since day one or recently joined this week, I really appreciate all the love and all the support that you give me. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, particularly when it comes to Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, or any other type of social media. Your continuous support is truly appreciated. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices. And I want to give a huge shout out to all those who watch from the clouds, including my haters, which basically they're going around giving me free press, and I'm living rent free in their minds. So what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and set the notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it in the playback. Now, I just want to make one programming note. My next stream will be on Thursday. Usually I'll do a stream on Friday nights. It's just that I will not be doing so because we're having funeral services for my nephew. For those of you who are not familiar or are not made aware, we had a death in the family. So my nephew, Jimmy Santiago, passed away. So out of respect, I will not be airing any content on Friday night. Okay. But we all have to go sometime. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to have another episode of In My Words. So again, I'm going to be talking about the Super Bowl that was played Sunday, and there's still some controversy. Now, the latest controversy has to do with not only did they sang the national anthem, but they also sang the Black national anthem, which is known as that um, left freedom. Okay, I don't. Okay, you know what? Let me not say what it is, but it's that that. And the reason for the controversy is because when they played the Black national anthem, a lot of people decided not to pay proper respect and just sat down. Now, there's a lot of, for some reason, there's a lot of controversy. Now, as far as I can recall, um, they never played the Black national anthem um, at any time at any pretty Super Bowl. So this is my thing. Whenever they sing they play the national anthem or the Black African American national anthem or any anthem, whether it be La Boriqueña, which is the national anthem of the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, or any national anthem, we should, as a form of courtesy and respect, stand up and, if we know the words, sing it. If not, to show the proper respect. Okay. Now, this is where it gets a little controversial. Okay. I understand it, that being that we're in Black History Month, so therefore, out of respect for the African American community, we should play the Black national anthem. Okay, but then again, shouldn't we play La Boriqueña? Shouldn't we play the Dominican national anthem? I mean, where does it end? I think we should give every community the proper respect that it's due. Okay. And one thing I don't understand is when the whenever in Major League Baseball. Good evening, Donna Manuel. Thank you very much for stopping by. So look, in Major League Baseball, when you have a team from Canada play, they play the Canadian national anthem. Okay. So this is the issue that I have. Where do we draw the line? Okay, because if we're going to play the Black national anthem, then we need to play every anthem. Okay, because if not, it can be even more controversial. Now again, I get it. It's Black History Month. We need to show our proper respect and to be perfectly honest, I do have a great deal of respect to the African American community. I think they're very vibrant. I think they're, they have overcame a lot of injustices. That being taken, that being said, if you're going to play another anthem, you need to play them all. Okay, because if you don't, it can denote favoritism. It could be more controversial. Again, no disrespect to the African American community. They're a community that overcame a lot of trauma, but let's put things in their perspective. Okay. So I don't want anyone coming back at me saying that I'm anti-Black. No, I'm just pro people. Okay. And I don't know if this is good. This is going to be a trend where they're going to sing it every year or just for this year. I don't know. Okay. Let's not go there, Donovan. Okay, we know regarding the haters and what have you, but But let's show here's a little bit more class. Okay. So all I'm gonna say is if we're gonna do it for one, we gotta do it for all. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say on the subject. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the main topic. So the main topic for tonight is what I call the sunset years. Now, of course, I need to define what does that. Excuse me, what do I mean by sunset years? I'm referring to that stage in your life where after spending 20, 30, 40, 50 years of being gainfully employed, where you retire. Some call it the golden years, others have different names for it. Okay. So basically, I'm referring for the most part of people ages 65 and older. Fine, in all fairness, people can retire as early as 60 and sometimes even earlier. But for the most part, we're talking about people who are 65 and over. Now, why am I discussing this topic? Because most of us who are working, we're going to be approaching the golden years, the sunset years. So it's good to have a discussion about that because those years are going to come sooner or later. Now, I just want to let everybody know that the link to join the panel has been pinned. So if anyone wants to join the panel, they're more than welcome to do so. Let me just inform you that if this is your first time here and you've never been on a panel and you've never been on a chat, I will insist that you come up in the backstage. The reason why for that is to make sure that no one flash anything inappropriate, which will cause the people of YouTube to take down the stream. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's how it goes. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. But one thing we have to bear in mind as we approaching our 60s, these are years of transition. So we're going from the point where we work every day to the time when we don't work any further, okay, which is called retirement. Okay. So, and as you get older, you should be thinking about what you're going to be doing during your retirement. And sometimes people are not prepared, okay, because they put so much in their career, they put so much in work and what have you, that they don't know what to do after they retire. Okay. Not me. I have certain things that I'm thinking about seriously doing when I retire. Okay. One of them is definitely I'm thinking about seriously considering study to become a deacon. Why? Because first of all, it has something to do with my faith. It's something I can do. I can devote my time serving God, serving the congregation I belong to, and it keeps me active. And the whole process and the whole thought behind it is that those who lead active retirement tend to live longer. Okay. Now, I've heard people who retired, but yet were not able to enjoy the fruits of retirement because they passed away prematurely. Okay. So so it's a transition, and there's also more challenges. Okay. Also, another thing to be in mind is sound maintenance. What does that mean? In other words, if you're fortunate, okay, you will have your social security, you will have a pension, you will have deferred compensation, you will have savings or 401k. Because the reality is this: um, Social Security will only pay cover up a portion of what you were making before. Now, in my case, I have the benefit of Social Security, which I'm going to be eligible to receive with a reduced benefit this fall when I reach 62. Okay. If I want to receive full Social Security, I have to be 67. So, and of course, when you retire, that's an individual choice. No one can make it for you. Okay. I know people that once they reach 62, they're just going to call it quits and then say that's it. Whatever they have in Social Security, they're going to collect. Whatever they have in a pension, they're going to collect. Whatever they have. As far as any savings, that's it. Others, they're going to continue until they're 67. Now, I know a few people who work until they're 70, almost 80 years old. I say, you know what? If you want to do that, knock yourself out. Not me. Okay. I already made up my mind that the most I'm going to work is until I'm 67. I might retire as early as next year. Also, another thing is that I also have an annuity, which I'll be able to redeem once I retire. So when it comes to self maintenance, you have to learn to live within your means. So that means living means as far as your Social Security, your pension, your 401k, your deferred comp, your annuity, or whatever savings. And you will have to learn to have the discipline to live within your means. Okay. Now, every year, Social Security goes up a certain amount. Every year, pension goes up a certain amount. Nevertheless, you need to learn how to discipline to live within your means. Another thing you're going to have to keep in mind is what I call late stage planning. Okay. What that means is you need to start thinking about what's going to happen to you in the event that you pass away, regarding how you wish your final rites or how you wish you. Do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? How you want to be buried? What type of services do you want? Okay. Also, you need to thinking about things like a will, particularly if you own property or you have valuables. Okay. Because what will happen is if you die without a will, then the state gets involved, and then the state will determine what happens with your assets. Okay. Also, you need to think about someone who's going to be who's going to execute you. In other words, someone that's going to decide what to carry out your last wishes. Okay. Now, some people don't like to talk about it, but the reality is you have to think about it. Okay. You don't want to think about it when you are dying. Okay. because depending what is your main of thought, whether it be you want to recover or you want to just want to say enough's enough, you live your life and then just want to go. So you need to think about healthcare proxy. In other words, someone who makes decisions for you in the event that you are unable due to um, being unconscious or not being mentally alert or not being able to make your own decision. Because let's keep it real. As you get older, among the things that you may risk doing is losing the ability to make decisions. So these are things that you need to take into account. When I mean, okay, as far as late stage planning. Good evening, William at Brooklyn. Thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you. And yes, I'm having a good night. Okay. So tonight we're talking about the sunset years. So basically we're talking about those years when we all going to retire. Okay. And then what we're going to do when we retire. Now, another thing you need to start thinking about, and I alluded to it earlier, is how to keep yourself busy after you retire. I mean, there's lots of things you can do. Okay, you can do traveling. You can develop a hobby. You can go to college if you wish. Okay. Here in New York, we also have senior citizen centers where you can engage in activities with other seniors, and it's a way of keeping human contact. Okay, because it is good to see people of your peers. Okay, and it's also good because you have a hopefully you will be able to belong with a community. Now, some people will work part-time. That's perfectly fine with you. I mean, it's all depends on what you want to do. At one point, I thought about working for my union after I retired. I don't know. I may not want to do that because I want to enjoy the final, the final quarter of my life or what have you. I know for one thing, I will be involved with the union for retirees because I want to keep myself informed regarding what's going on with retirees. I also I want to be active because I believe if you're more active, you're going to live longer. Mind you, the typical human lives for about 70 to 80 years, and then if they happen to live past 80, they've been truly blessed. Both my parents, they passed away in the 80s. My father was 83 years ago when he passed away, and my mom was 86. So they both lived long lives. Okay, they were both blessed with longevity. So another thing you need to be in mind is that you're gonna be the type of medical coverage that you're gonna have will change. Okay. Now, hopefully, okay, whether you be in municipal government or a large employer or what have you, of course, your medical coverage was provided by your employer. Okay. Now, when you retire, your main form of medical coverage will be Medicare, which hopefully you will apply for all the different types of Medicare, Medicare A, B, and what have you. Okay, so that's going to be your medical coverage. Okay, and also be mindful what are the things and limitations that are involved. And also another thing to bear in mind is the type of medical coverage supplement medical coverage you have will determine where you will live. Okay. There are some Medicare supplements where you can live anywhere in all 50 states. There are others where it's restricted. So you need to bear that in mind if you're thinking about moving from one state to another. Like for example, many of the elderly, many of the people in their 60s, what they would consider doing is moving to a warmer climate. Usually Florida, um, Arizona, um, California, Texas, Louisiana, because they're not so sensitive to the cold, and which is perfectly fine. And some people they don't want to deal with snow, which we had today. Some people don't want to deal with the cold, so they would rather live in a warm climate. Now, I'll be perfectly honest. When I was younger, I thought about retiring to Puerto Rico because basically it's sunny, it's summer all year round. But with all the stuff that's been going on in Puerto Rico, with the political scene and what have you, and the level of care, I don't see myself moving to Puerto Rico. And no, I'll stay in the Northeast. Um, Also, as you age, you're going to be dealing with additional health issues. Okay. Because as you get older, sometimes your vision goes starts to decrease. Sometimes you're walking with a limp. Sometimes you're walking with the aid of a walker or a cane or what have you. And then sometimes your physical condition has deteriorated to the point where you need a wheelchair. So it's very important that you take good care of yourself in your younger years. Meaning make sure that you eat healthy, make sure you go have your doctor's appointments, make sure you have your examinations and what have you. So therefore, as you age, your health will not deteriorate as much. But you will be dealing with increasing health issues as you age. Because let's keep it real. Most of us, if we're fortunate, we're going to live to our 70s or our 80s. Maybe you might live to your 90s, and maybe even live to be 100 years old. Now that is a major blessing because it just shows you how much history that you see and how much you have seen. Okay. However, the sad part is that as you grow older, you're going to be experiencing more deaths. Okay. You're going to experience the death of your parents. You're going to experience the death of your siblings. Some of you, unfortunately, experience the deaths of your children. You're also going to experience the death of your spouses. Okay. You're also going to deal with the people that you knew 10, 20, 30 years have gone to their eternal reward. So that's going to be something that you have to bear in mind. And you need to deal with it as part of the life process. As we grow older, more and more of the people that we associate with, more and more people that are in our inner circle will pass away. Okay. And then which brings about um, living alone. Good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. The topic for tonight is the sunset years. In other words, those years when you have retired, and so basically, I'm just giving my observation among the things that you need to be mindful for. Okay, um, which is a lot of it is a period of changes. It is a time of transition. Okay, as you go from working full time to being not to being um, I wouldn't say idle, but not working, and you devoting your time to other things. So as I said, as you grow older, as you grow older, you're gonna see more and more of your loved ones passed away. Okay, it's gonna be sad, but hopefully you will treasure the memories of these people, and as long as they live in your heart, they will continue to live in spirit. Okay, so let's see what else. Another consequence as you grow older, um, you may reach the stage when you become dependent on others. And that could be whether it be dependent as far as doing your grocery shopping, maybe going with you to medical appointments, things of that nature, whether it be helping to feed you and clothe you if your health has deteriorated. So in essence, when you get older, you become like children. Um, I remember when my parents were alive, as they age, of course, um, I looked after my parents for their well being because they looked after me when I was a child growing up, because I was dependent on my parents for clothing, food, shelter, love, warmth. So as you get older, um, the roles are reversed. If you have children and if they love you, they'll take care of you. They'll be caring for you. You'll become dependent on them. If you don't have children, then you'll then be nephews and nieces and what have you. So as I get older, um, I will become more dependent on my nephews and nieces, and if I have children, maybe. Okay. So I think with that, you see, with that bear in mind, you need to be mindful how you treat people when you are young. Okay. Because if you're good to people when you're young, people are going to be good to you when you get old. If you're I don't have any children. I have nephews and nieces. Okay, I mean the only children I have. The only children I have is my cycle children. Okay, with you, Gigi's one, Denise is another, Maltese another one, Joaquin I mean, so I don't have children. I have nephews and nieces. But should I do get married and somehow I am not planning to have any children anytime soon, but you know what? You never know. You never know. But that would depend on whether my significant other will be willing to give me children. Okay? That's something we have to bear in mind because remember, it takes two people to have children, okay? And we have to be respectful regarding the other party's wishes. So eventually I will be dependent on other people. Now, hopefully, by taking proper care of myself, eating, make sure that I maintain a healthy diet, make sure I maintain a healthy lifestyle, uh, avoid stress as much as possible. Uh, Hopefully, as I grow older, I'm not going to be depending on others as much. Okay, now that's the key. That's the key. Is do your best to live healthy, mentally, physically, spiritually when you are young. Because when you hit your golden years, your senior years, your sunset years, which by the grace of God we will all do, we will not be dependent as others. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. The topic for tonight is the sunset years. These are the years where you transition from working full time to enjoying your retirement, enjoying the fruits of your retirement. Okay, I know for one thing, I plan to enjoy the fruits of my retirement. Okay, and I also plan to keep myself active as much as I can. And there's a few things I can do to keep myself active. Okay. Uh, like I said before, study to become a deacon. Make sure I get involved with senior citizen centers, activity citizen centers. Um, travel. I mean, things like that. I plan to live a very active retirement. I plan to enjoy my golden years, okay? Because I work hard, okay? And also, um, I am blessed to have reached 61 years of life, okay? That's something, unfortunately, three of my siblings were not able to say because they're not here, okay? So I owe it to myself to try to live as healthy physically, mentally, psychologically, and spiritually, which means avoiding negative people like the plague, which means avoid people that want to create trauma, okay? Which means, to turn my back on those who want to make life impossible, okay? And we've seen it here in these, not just here in these YouTube streets, but in our everyday lives, okay? We've seen people that they seem to enjoy creating trauma. Okay, and in my stage, I don't need it. So we need to try to maintain a healthy life as much as we can. Okay, which means make sure you go to your medical appointments, have your vision check, have your lung check, make sure you have your examinations and things of that nature. And you're right, Gigi. You're right, 100%. Hurt people, hurt people. Okay, and all I can say is bless their hearts. Okay, because I don't bear ill will. I mean, basically, they're torturing themselves by their conduct. Now, maintaining a healthy life means, making sure that you eat healthy, making sure that you have exercises, making sure that you maintain a positive mindset, a positive train of thought, things of that nature. Okay. Or, as I like to say, avoid stinking thinking. Yeah, that too. That too. There's a lot of people who are not happy, and they love to make people's lives miserable. Okay. But you know what is the best form of revenge? Do not give in the oxygen. Do not engage with them. Ignore them. Pretend that they're not there. That tortures the heck out of some of these people. And of course, one thing try to do, um, join a community. Okay. Now in New York, they have, like I said, they have many senior citizen centers where they plan activities for the seniors. They go on trips. They'll have breakfast. They have lunch. They'll play games. And one thing you're gonna play a lot is bingo. Okay, yeah, you're gonna play bingo. Okay, because that's a game that elderly people love. Let's keep it real. Okay, and good evening, Kesha. Thank you very much for stopping by. Oh, before I forget, let me just remind everyone. Yeah, okay, that sounds like a plan. Uh, Let me just remind everybody that Dreadlock Diaries, Don Armando, and Gigi have their channels. So what I'm going to ask you to do, that if you have not done so, please subscribe to their channels and check out their content. Yep, that is true. That is very true. Okay. Look, like I said before, if you really want to get back at these people, ignore them. Pretend that they're not there. Okay? Because it bothers the bejesus out of these people when you ignore them, because then what you're doing is you're depriving them of the oxygen that they need. Okay? And you know what? That's one of the things. Okay. Thank you very much. And look, and I cannot take the credit for this. The success that I have achieved, it's because of my supporters. Okay, and I never want to forget that for a minute. Okay, Seriously. Okay. Well, actually, you live in Florida, so there's plenty of cities in Florida where you can live near the ocean. Okay. Um, Knowing me, I'll probably live where I'll be with family. Okay. I happen to have nephews and nieces that live in Stratford, Connecticut. Okay. Why Connecticut? I mean, first of all, it's a more peaceful environment. Plus, I'm closer to the Big Apple. I'm close to the Big Apple. Of course, I still have siblings that live here in New York. So, but the best, if you really want to get on your haters' skin, ignore them. Okay, you know what? The whole point. Look, the whole point is you live where you want to live that makes you comfortable. Okay. Now, one question I'm getting hit recently is, Jose, when you're going to retire? My answer has always been the same. When it's my time. When it's my time, I will retire. And then I will be singing. Sorry about that. For some reason, I got accidentally left the screen. Okay. Oh, that's true. Yeah. No, but when on the day that I retire, I'm gonna be singing the old spiritual. Yep. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Believe me, I'm gonna be happier than pig and slop when it's come time to retire. Okay. Um. Of course, I am going to keep myself occupied. And of course, when you get older, there's certain things. Okay. Yep. Actually, there's quite a few states that that bring people, that elderly people wish to retire. Florida is one. Texas is another. Some of the states in the South, like Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, New Mexico, Colorado, uh, Nevada. Okay. 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 Well, you know what? To each one's own, Gigi. To each one's own. Um, you know what? I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even. I mean, hey, if you can, you know, get the boom boom done when you're 80 years old, bless you. Bless you. You know what? I'm sure that people in their 80s getting their groove on. Okay, but But on a more serious note, you do need to have a couple of documents in place. Okay. Um, you're gonna need to have a will, and you're gonna need to have a healthcare proxy in place. Okay. Why? Because you want your final wishes, whatever it might be, to be fulfilled. Okay. You know, I'll definitely think about that. I'll definitely think about that. But yeah, you need, first of all, what's the purpose of a healthcare proxy? If God forbid you need medical attention and you're not fully cognizant, or you're not able to speak on your behalf, you need someone to speak in your behalf. Preferably someone that you trust very much. Okay, like a loved one, or your spouse, your sibling, or your children. Okay. And when it comes to the will, no one likes to talk about a will, because no one likes to talk about dying. But the reality is this: if you do not come up with a will, then someone else is going to decide for you what's going to be how you want to be buried, and how your property is going to be divided. Okay. So do yourself a favor. Get a healthcare proxy in place and a will. Okay. I'm in the process of doing that, because I don't want the state determining what happens to my stuff. Okay. Now, so this is an interesting side note. Um, when my mother was dealing with her illness and her her passing to the next life, my mother did not have a healthcare proxy. So basically, what happened was, whatever medical decisions um, that had to be made, it had to be made between me and my three other siblings. So basically, we all had to be in agreement regarding what we had to do for our mother's care. Okay. I don't want to burden that with my siblings when I become ill and I get to the point where I am not able to make any decisions on my behalf. So I'm gonna have a healthcare proxy. I'm gonna have a will. Okay. And that person, whoever I designate, will make sure that all my instructions are followed. Okay. As far as how I want my care to be given, and if I get to the stage where they cannot do anything medically for me, because my health will continue to deteriorate, how I want them to proceed. So that's the reason why I'm having a healthcare proxy. So therefore, my siblings don't have to guess why I want it, which includes plans on your funeral arrangement. So how you want your arrangement to be done? Do you want to be cremated? Do you want to be buried? Do you want a Christian service? Do you want I mean, you need to spell that out while you are alive and you're physically able, and you have your full mental capacities. Another thing that you're gonna have to deal with is loneliness. Okay. Hopefully, it won't be severe. But the fact of the matter is, as you grow older, particularly when you get to your to your 70s and your 80s, more and more of your inner circle, which is your siblings, your spouses, your close friends, that are dying or have died. So sometimes just be prepared for times when you'll be lonely. So it's very important to have the knowledge for certain things like the like WhatsApp technology, where you can at least have some sort of content. Good evening, Julio Shaban. Thank you very much for stopping by. Yeah, okay. I know down. Now the topic for tonight is the sunset years, what to do when you're unfortunately years when you're no longer working, but you have retired. So what I'm doing. I'm just giving my perspective as far as what to do to properly prepare for your retirement. Okay. Now, there's just a couple more things that I want to discuss. Again, if anyone wishes to join the panel, the link is there, and then you can express your point of view, or you can disagree. Okay. Okay. That's one way to spend your retirement. So try to maintain whatever close ties that you have, whether it be with your siblings or your children that are still alive, or the senior citizen communities where you are a member. Okay? Because that's going to help you to deal with loneliness. Um, Whatever you do, always try to maintain the proper perspective regarding everything in every uh, aspect of your life. Because the fact of the matter is, as you grow older, you're going to have more limitations. So you're going to have to learn to function with the limitations. So that's something. And I don't plan to work on time until I drop that. No, that's not me. So, and the last thing that I want to discuss, which I always stress here, is be the best version of yourself. Okay. That applies whether you're 25, 45, or 85. Okay. What do I mean by being the best version of yourself? Try to maintain a positive attitude, try to treat people fairly, treat people with courtesy and respect, um, not tear down people um, because they are different. I mean, look, the fact of the matter is, we all have to deal with different types of people, um, no matter what. So just be the best version of yourself, okay? And just be a good person, okay? And you're gonna have a more happier life by striving to be the best person of yourself. Okay, yeah. So so of course I have been speaking for an hour now. So if anyone wishes to join the panel, they can do so. If anyone wishes, yes, let's follow Dreadlock Diary's suggestion and subscribe. Okay, look, and the fact of the matter is, again, I am truly touched by the amount of support I have received from all of you. Okay, because look, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. There's literally, and I mean literally, um, millions of YouTube creators here on these YouTube streams. You can just as easily follow their content, and I'm sure some of them are flashier, some of them are tech savvy. Okay, I'm not the most tech savvy person in the world. Good evening, Damo Show. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I just want to let everybody know that she has her channel, so please check out her content. Okay. Okay. She does uh, have a lot of interesting topics. Okay. So let's show some love to the Mo Show. Okay. So about so the topic for tonight is the sunset years. So uh for an hour, I have been talking about that stage in your life when you are no longer working and you are retirement, you're enjoying the fruits of your entire retirement. Okay, because that's something we all should strive to do. Okay, um, that's why we work. That's why we work every day, and we deal with all the stupidity of some of what we deal with our employers and our co-workers and things like that. So when it get to the stage when you can retire, enjoy the fruits of your labor, and you can say, fluff the work environment. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do a little of both. I'm gonna do a little of both, to be perfectly honest. I want to do some traveling, and I want to do, and I just want to chill. Okay. Actually, and you know what? There's a couple places I have not visited. I want to go to Europe. Okay. Particularly, actually, there's two countries I would love to visit. One of them is the UK. The other one is Spain. Okay. Also, um, one place I would love to visit is Israel. To see, to visit, to visit the land of Israel and visit the places where Jesus walked, and with his public ministry and things of that nature. I mean, I would love to do that. Yeah. Okay. Not now. No, no. When things are more peaceful. When things are more peaceful. No, believe me. Not now. I would even, you can pay me to go to Israel now with what's going on with the Israelis and Hamas. No. But believe me, I have been blessed to I have had the privilege and the blessing to travel to Mexico, Colombia, Panama, Canada, the Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. So yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay, so and of course there's stuff to do here in New York as well. Okay, I mean, look, there's so many parades here in New York. Okay, okay. Well, actually, back in 2019, I was in Mexico, but the thing was, I traveled with a group. Okay. And it's the same situation when I went to Colombia, when I went to Panama, I traveled with a group. Okay. A lot of the times when I go visit other countries, I tend to go travel with a group. I mean, the only time I really didn't do that when I went to the Dominican Republic. Okay. So, um, of course, it does help when you speak Spanish. Okay, let's keep it real. Okay. And of course, one of my favorite places to go in Florida is Disney World. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know, I mean, basically, I become a kid again when I go to, Magic Kingdom or Epcot Center and things like that. I know, you know, but hey, I think all of us, in a way, we're still like, there's still a child in all of us. Yeah, you know what? Um, okay. This is the thing. When you do travel to other countries, it's very important to try to blend in with the community as much as you can. Okay, which means like, if you're going to Latin America, it's gonna help you a big time if you can pick up in Spanish. Okay, and it's gonna help you to be mindful the different nuances when it comes to Spanish. Like there's certain words, like it's okay for one group to say, but for another group, it's a big no-no. Okay, okay. Let me just give you a perfect example. We have a word in Spanish which is coger, which means to grab. Okay, okay. Now, if you're talking to a Puerto Rican or a Dominican, it's perfectly okay to say the word coger because basically they understand it's to grab. But if you say it to a Mexican, they're gonna interpret it as you wanted to do something that starts with the letter F, but ends with the letter K. And I'm not gonna say it any further because I want to keep the dialogue at least relatively PG rated. Yeah, yeah. You know what? That's a problem. See, that's a problem. Is that in many different countries, particularly in Latin American countries, they think all Americans are rich, that we're walking on streets of gold and silver, and that we have money going up the yang yang and what have you. So it's very important. It's very important that when you do travel abroad, to blend in as much as you possible. And for goodness gracious, please don't be showing out the bling bling or your cell phone or whatever out in the street because basically what you're just doing is you're asking someone to rob you. Okay, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Okay, I have been fortunate that okay. And see, and another thing we have to bear, and another thing we have to bear in mind is this: is that we cannot assume that the way things are done in the United States, it's the same as things done in other countries because they have a different mindset altogether. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. Okay, and for goodness gracious, do not pick fights with the people from the community. Okay, you are asking for trouble if you do that. Okay, just look, just try, look, just try to blend in, try to learn what you can regarding the community itself, and you're gonna have you're gonna have a more happier time. You're gonna have a safer time. Okay. Um, so, and by by all means, if you're going to visit another country, try to learn something about the culture, please. Okay. Look, I remember when I went before I went to Colombia for the first time, I did a lot of research. Okay, first of all, I looked in YouTube, but I also speak to people that were born and raised in Colombia, um, so to give me, an idea, as far as how to conduct myself, because the last thing I want to do is come across as the ugly American and just basically showing disrespect to the culture. Okay, and I had a wonderful time in Colombia. I had a wonderful time in Panama. I had an awesome time in Mexico. I had an awesome time in Peru. I have an awesome time in Canada. I also had an awesome time in the Dominican Republic. Why? Because I try to adapt. I try to blend in. I try to learn, and believe me, when you do that, you're going to enjoy your experiences much better. Okay, so of course this is not travel trips, but this is just some things to consider. Okay, well, in any case, I have been shooting the breeze for about 75 minutes. So if no one wants to join the panel, I'll start to wrap it up. Is if no other comment. First of all, shout out to the 9 people watching this stream as we speak, and I really appreciate all the interaction in the chat. We got some people. We got one or two couple people that's there for the first time, or some one or two that have not been there for a while. So I really I appreciate all the interaction in the chat. I think what I'll do for the next stream, I won't enable the subscriber mode. Thank you. Oops, sorry. Let me just. But look, let me tell you something. The whole point. Look, the whole point is that we're all going to grow old, hopefully, and hopefully we will age gracefully. So what I did was, and good night, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. Okay, oops. So hopefully with what I discussed, I gave you something to think about. Okay, which is the whole purpose here. Okay. So with that being said, let me just discuss what's going to be the topic for my stream on Thursday. It's going to be dealing with stereotypes. Okay. Now, unfortunately, we have a lot of ignorant people. We have people who are ignorant regarding different groups and things of that, and people in general. So what happens is we base our information based on misinformation regarding who they are. So what I'm going to be doing on Thursday night at the same time, I'm going to be addressing the stereotypes, why they exist, and how to avoid them. Okay? Because the fact of the matter is, you don't know people until you actually, excuse me, until you actually have an opportunity to speak with them and interact with them. Okay? So try not to judge people that you don't know. At least have an open mind, or at least try to learn something about different types of people, whether it be men, women, whether it be Latinos, African Americans, people from the Middle East, whatever. Okay, do your due diligence and at least approach them with open mind and ask them questions. Okay, it's no crime to ask questions, and basically, if you ask questions politely, they're gonna respond. Okay. So, with that being said, I really appreciate all the interaction in the chat. I really appreciate everyone that came on the chat and expressed their point of view. And it really, it really touched my heart. And I'm not going to lie, it really touched my heart. Um, Thank you. It really touched my heart, the amount of support that I've got. And again, I cannot stress this enough. The reason why I'm enjoying success is because of people like you who see fit to consume my content. Okay, I'm not a big creator. I'm just simply trying to produce positive content, and the fact that it's well received, it really touches my heart, and it makes what I do meaningful. So I really appreciate that, and I hope to see you all Thursday, whether it be live or on the playback. And of course, on the playback, all of you are more than welcome to enter your comments. Just try to keep it respectful. Okay? So I'm gonna put this stream to bed. I think it was a good stream. I really appreciate all the interaction that we have had gone. So, and of course, I'm gonna end this the same way that we always do. Okay? We must do everything possible to reduce our influence with the mentally and intellectually challenged people. Because if we fail to do so, we would be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Wishing all of you a good night. Be the best version yourself. Stay blessed and peace. Let me just get this one comment. Okay. And we'll see you next time. Peace.